This is Johnny Boy Boxing here with Fight Hype. I'm here with the legendary Ronnie Shields. Wanted to talk about the exciting news of David Morell facing David Benevidez. What are your thoughts on that? And how did this fight come about? Do you have any inside details of how that worked out?
Well, they've been talking about it for about a year and a half now, and they never could get anything worked out. But since they both moved up to 175, they both won minor titles. You know, it's just the right time to do it. They've been wanting to fight each other for a while now. So, uh, from what I understand, that they sent the contract to Benavidez' promoter, and they presented it to him, and they accepted. So it's going to happen.
I said, now I interviewed you about 2 weeks ago in New York City. Did you know this was already going to happen? This was a done deal back then, or
It wasn't done back then. It wasn't done. It was just talk. They was talking. You got to go through everything, and it took them a few weeks to get it all done. But I guess both sides was asking for certain things, and now they both got what they wanted. So the fight was signed.
exactly? So, what are your thoughts on two undefeated fighters fighting in their prime, especially since fighters nowadays are not willing to, fight the best? Like, for example, Tank Davis fighting Lamont Roach. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's a great fight. These guys got amateur background, against each other, and so it just makes sense. I think now fighters are starting to realize that you have to fight the best fighters out there today, and these guys are putting it together, and I think everybody is falling in place.
Absolutely. Now, I want to know about now David Morrell has a record of 11 fights and 9 KOs, but he has an amateur record of 130 wins and 2 losses. Do you think that experience will help him, being that he doesn't have that professional experience at going against David Benavidez?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Look, the thing about Morel is he's a fighter, and he'll fight anybody. It doesn't make a difference to him who he fights. He never complains about anything. He he goes in and he does what he has to do. And Benavidez is the same way. He wants to fight only the best fighters. So, and finally, it's going to happen.
Absolutely. And how does Morrell win this fight? I know you guys always train for the knockout. Benavidez is a high volume puncher. Would you take? How would you neutralize that power of David Benavidez?
Well, first things first. Uh, I have to go and watch tape of Benavidez. I haven't had to do that yet because just because it was all talk, it's been all talk for about a year now. Still haven't looked at him. So I just have to go back, take a look, look at different things, see what he does best, see what he doesn't do so good, and then I'll make my game plan off of that.
Absolutely. You have plenty of options. If Morel is victorious against David Benavidez and he stays at 175, he can fight the winner of Dimitri Bivol or Artur Beterbiev. Or I think that Canelo will be interested and he can go back to 168 and fight Canelo Alvarez. What would you prefer him to do? Would you rather have him stay at 175 or drain himself to 168? What do you think?
I think right now, it's best that he still stay at 175. I think 175 is, he feels comfortable. He feels more comfortable at 175. Remember, David's not, he's not an old guy. He's a young guy. So he's still growing, and, and he feels so much comfortable at 175. If Canelo wants to fight, he can always move up like he did before.
Now, Edgar Berlanga was paid in excess of $17.5 million for that fight. Yeah, would it be worth it for him to go back to 168 and just to take the money and see if you can be victorious, fight the face of boxing, then go back up to 175 for that large amount of money, or it's not about the money?
Well, I think right now we just have to take one step at a time. you know, it's all everything sounds good, sounds dandy, but still we got to beat Benavidez first before we think about anything else. So now that we just signed this fight, that's where our focus has to be. We can't worry about Canelo, can't worry about Bivol or Petrevia, either one of those guys. We have to concentrate on David Benevidez. After that fight, we're victorious. Then we could concentrate on whoever may be next.